Hey everybody, my name is Ed. Okay, another random comic book review. This time we have Marvel feature number 5, starring Red Sonja from 1976. I want to say I might have shown this comic book off before, maybe in a haul video from a couple of years ago, but I don't think we did like an in-depth look at it or anything like that. But so here we go. We've got still only 25 cents. Approved by the Comics Code Authority. In this issue, the Bear God stalks at night. Okay, so first ad we got Spalding basketballs. All right, we all know Spalding. The Bear God walks. Okay, the credits are Bruce Jones writer, Frank Thorne artist. Frank Thorne is pretty much known where Red Sonja pretty much put him on the map. Bruce Jones had a career. I think most people know him as a writer, but I think he's also been an artist as well. I know he's did a lot of stuff like Warren. I know he's done a lot of like black and white horror magazines and science fiction-y things. He did a run in the 80s as a writer for Kazar for is it Kazar or Kazar for Marvel, and I want to say in the early 2000s he was the writer of the Incredible Hulk or whatever. But okay, so anyway, here's Red Sonja. It's raining. She's riding into town. And she sees this sign here: 1,000 pieces of gold for anyone who can capture the forest beast. And she walks in where the mayor is trying to round up people to help capture the beast. While she's there, some dude's kind of like, yeah, kind of hitting on her, walking up to her. Yeah, you're kind of hot looking. And she's like, well, I'll accept the challenge. I'll take the bounty. And first they're like, oh yeah, sure, right, a woman. And this guy goes, I'll tag along. And at first she's like, oh, who does this guy think he is? But kind of agrees to sort of hang out with him. And they're at the bar. Charles Atlas. And look who's smiling now. This was an ad that was in comics for a long time about continuing your education. So I just remember seeing this a bunch of times for 70s comics and stuff like that. So I guess they figured, well, if you're an adult reading comics, maybe you need to get back and finish school or whatever. I don't know. So anyway, they're in the bar. They're hanging out, and some big dude named Bramus comes up there and tries to hit on Sonja. And blonde hair guy's like, hey, I'm right here, dude. Then he smacks dude over. And then there's kind of a little brawl. Sonja thinks the whole thing's funny. And there's all this sort of back and forth for a while. And it's just cracking her up. And then the brawl spreads to the rest of the bar. And the place gets kind of torn up. More bodybuilder ads. High school ring. Space 1999. Your Spider-Man ring. Back in the mid-70s, right around this time, mood rings were a big deal. And they were these rings, and you put them on, and they would kind of change colors. And the gag is supposed to be they change colors because of your mood or your emotions or whatever. But I really think it was just something that had to do with body heat or something like that. And of course, slip into a Slim Jim. Yeah. Anyway, Sonja and dude leave the bar. They go into the forest. And they set up their little tent because they're going to be looking for the bear creature. And then, things start to get a little cozy till they hear some noise. Then dude gets up and he's like, I'll check it out. And then he walks off. Sonja waits around. Yep. Check this out. Marvel t-shirts. Let's see here. I can pretty much tell. Art for Captain America, that's Johnny Romita. Fantastic Four is Johnny Romita. Spider-Man, of course, is Johnny Romita. Senior, I should say. Maybe that Hulk is too, I can't tell. That Thor is pretty much, I'm sure that Thor is Jack Kirby. And here's Stan the Man Lee, Excelsior. Ad for candy. Sugar daddies and sugar mamas and sugar babies. Anyway, Sonja goes out of the tent to see what's going on. She sees some dead guy up in a tree. Oh my. Here's somebody sneaking up on her. But it's our blonde-haired friend. There's some craziness going on. This time Sonja's like, well, I'll check it out. And then she comes face to face with the bear god. Arg. They're having a fight there. They're going back and forth. Gods of my father. Sweet Mitra. It will tear me asunder. Oh, okay, here we go. Mighty Marvel Checklist. So here's some of the comics that were on sale that week. Thor. Here's a Red Sonja here. Doctor Strange. Let's see here. Eternals #1. Astonishing Tales, starring Deathlock. Spider-Man. Master of Kung Fu. Captain America. And here's another ad for the Eternals. Who are they? What are they? Why are they? Jack Kirby's latest, greatest epic. Be here when gods walk the earth. And here on this page, we got a little pin up here. Normally at this time, this probably would have been where the letters page would have been, but I guess they didn't have a letters page for this particular issue. An ad for Crazy. Crazy was Marvel Comics version of Mad Magazine. More bodybuilder stuff here. Oh, here's a thing. Win prizes selling Grit. Grit was some sort of newspaper or something. Okay, so back to the fight. Here's Sonja and the Bear God going toe for toe. But then the fight is interrupted by lightning. And then she realizes it's a bear costume. So really this must be a gag. The bear god can't be real. Learn karate. And so she goes back to the tent, and here's our blonde dude, and she's like, what's going on here? And she thinks blonde dude is behind this all. She confronts him, but then somebody attacks them, and it's Bramos, the big dude from the bar earlier. So he's behind this. And him and the mayor have had something going on to con people out of their money or something. And he attacks them. Oh, here we go. Stan's soapbox, and here he hypes a rock album of Spider-Man. It's called Reflections of a Rock Superhero. I talk about the value stamps. What else here? Basically just sort of shout out to Jack Kirby's Captain America. Issue 200 is coming up pretty soon. It's 1976, so it's the 200th issue of Captain America as well as the 200th anniversary of America. Here, this is interesting. New people have joined the Marvel bullpen. We've also pleased to announce 2 human additions to our bullpen, namely Jim Troubleshooter and Roger Stern. And it says, what? Jim's replacing cheerful Chris Claremont, who's left the 9-to-5 frenzy of editorial for life of a peaceful existence as a freelance writer. And they just show you all the stuff he was writing at that particular time. Iron Fist, X-Men, Black Goliath, Luke Cage, Power Man, and doing a couple fill-in issues for Daredevil. Look at here. Here's Larry Hama. Remember Lucky Larry Hama's art a few months back in Kazar? I don't know if anybody remembers that, but okay. But this, of course, is the same Larry Hama who became famous for doing G.I. Joe a little bit later on, and then a bunch of other things. Basically, it's talking about how he was an actor on Broadway. Pacific Overtures. I don't know, I've not heard of that, but maybe I'll look that up afterwards. Larry Lieber, who is Stan Lee's brother, is working on Spidey Super Stories. They're coming out with a Prisoner comic written by Steve Englehart. Nova and the Invaders are going from bi-monthly to monthly. And here's another plug for the Eternals. And of course, another infamous Hostess ad. Here's Captain America in front of the Washington Monument practicing for his bit in the bicentennial celebration, where the Red Skull captures him, but Cap is able to defeat the Cosmic Cube by giving it Hostess Twinkies. And Hostess Twinkies actually has a thought balloon. Delicious golden sponge cake. Cube, I command you to pulverize Captain America. And then we get this caption that says, the Cube refuses to do anything against Cap because it's enjoying the Twinkies too much. And then Captain America says the exact same thing. Your Cube refuses to obey you because it's enjoying the Hostess Twinkies. And then Cap just sort of like walks off and leaves the skull there. Okay, fine. Alright, so anyway, back to the fight. We have Bremus about to burn up the tent of Red Sonja and blonde-haired guy, when just then their bear god attacks, and the bear god is a real thing. But just then, as the bear god grabs Bremus, he drops the match in the lamp oil and sets everything on fire. And the bear god goes up in smoke, and Bremus goes up in smoke. And that's it. And that's the end of the story. And then blonde hair guy goes, oh, our tent and everything is gone. How will we keep warm? And Red Sonja looks at him and says, you'll build a fire. You'll build a fire. A wink, wink, a nudge, nudge. The next issue, It is the Invincible, or It is the Invincible. Okay, and that's it. Oh, wait. We also get G.I. Joe ad. There's no credits, but just looking really closely, this looks like Johnny Romita Sr. art, I think. And this was for a toy where G.I. Joe would eagle eyes. And what it was, G.I. Joe had a switch on the back of his head, and you move the switch back and forth, and it would make his eyes move from left to right. So that was the gimmick of this particular toy. And then you can also buy some fishing rods and model cars. Okay, so then that's it. Got to thank you very much for watching and listening, and you guys have a great day.